and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. I am Chelsea, not Will. He is here today with us running tech. I'm going to be hosting the show. I'm super stoked to be here for the next episode of the Trials of Balls, which of course is our viewer game. So let's start by going around the casting crew. You guys can tell us who you are and who you're going to be playing today. And why don't you just kind of sprinkle in a little bit of a brief description of how, in fact, your character died and made it to this alternate dimension where Bhaal holds the souls of adventurers. And we're actually going to start with our lovely cast member, Madame Gandalf.
Hello. Well, my name is Madame Gandalf. I play Ari, the half-elf rogue. She is a little bit obnoxious, a little bit scatterbrained, a little bit self-involved, and she died melting in amongst melting gold, trying to escape the galleries of Grunrundi. And yeah, needless to say, she was not very successful in her escape, and she has also lost a couple of good friends along the way, but she's still looking out for numero uno. And we'll see if that gets her through the trials of Bhaal.
Yeah. Hey, it might, survival of the fittest, right? Yeah. Cool. Well, we're going to move right along to our other cast member, Pangalactic.
Hello, I am Pangalactic. I'm Chris. I am playing Darak, the dwarven cleric, who died while meant to be protecting somebody and got killed in his sleep. And it sucked. But since then, he's died another 5 times, and he's kind of enjoying it now. And this half-elf chick keeps showing up every time he dies, and he wants to know what that's all about.
Oh, yeah, that we might have to find out a little bit more about that today, in fact, which you may not want to find out. Don't ask for things you're not ready for, man.
I haven't learned that yet.
All right, and we're going to go around on my screen, which I don't know that it's the same as everybody else's, but this is the order I'm going in. And we're going to move right along to Chaotic Fabulous. Tell us about your character today, and thanks for joining the show.
Hey, I'm Dan, Chaotic Fabulous here. I'm playing Ungar, known as Ungar the Unkillable. He is especially old for a half-orc, given his line of work as a mercenary. He's got more scars than wrinkles, though, so you can't really tell. He died, well, it was a bit of a long story, but he was on a particularly tricky bounty hunt one day in the city. And as he stormed through the door, he was shot in the head with an arrow, but that didn't kill him. He pulled that out. Then he was set on fire by the maids that burst through the door, took care of him pretty easily by cutting off the hands. That way he can't do the somatic components anymore, so that took care of him. 6 halflings jumped down from the ceiling, stabbed him in the back, smashed their heads together, got rid of them. Eventually caught the guy he was after, brought him out and went home and celebrated with a bowl of fish stew and had an allergic reaction and died. But he wasn't killed, so he's still unkillable as far as... He died, but he wasn't killed.
Right, sure. Yeah, so he's still not, you're right, technicality there. Brilliant. And let me make sure I get it right. Genli I. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the show. Introduce your character and tell us a little about him.
Thank you. So this is my first time as a viewer here, and I should say that I'm a 100% viewer and 0% streamer. So as you can see from my setup here, and you can always find me on chat, and I'd like to take this chance to also say how to properly pronounce my name. So it is Genli I. So and you'll already find me in chat all the time, but I'm not actually a streamer. And what else? Well, I'm actually really stoked and excited to be playing with you guys. And yeah, I'll be playing a half-orc paladin named Martok El Embassy. So I'm not gonna say much about him because I plan to RP him along the way, even though this is a one shot, but I however, since you asked it, so as you probably guessed by now, he's a paladin vowed with an oath of vengeance. So his death is actually he made friends in a certain north city, which is funded by half orcs actually, and then no, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice my own half orc voice, and I'm gonna recite my own dex. Okay, if that's right.
Looking forward to it, man. Hit us with it.
Okay, I made friends with some half orcs in the north, and we found out traces of a small band of frost giants, my sword enemies vowed by my oath of vengeance. And this city and its inhabitants were afraid that they were coming to attack, to raid. So me and a small band of other proud half-orc warriors set out to investigate these traces of frost giants. But we were ambushed by them. First by throwing rocks at us, and then it was a massive and glorious melee fight. Great Axe versus Great Axe. It was so eventually we were no match for those giants, and I was to be doing, and my head decapitated by a huge great axe from one of those giants. But still, with my head cut off, and though my vision was already blurry, I had an image of a powerful orc that I instantly recognized. It was he who never sleeps, he who watches, the one-eyed god, Grumsh. At first, the orc god was only smirking at me, apparently. Then, for a brief instant, he seemed dismissive, but his smirk was back again, and turned to broad
offering
and wicked laughter. I did not know what that meant by that time, but I assumed I would soon find out. And that was how I died.
That is super epic. So basically, you have found yourself after this epic battle and facing another god into the hands of, once again, another god. So you're kind of being passed around.
Yeah, and that's because being a paladin, even if you're bound by an oath of vengeance, I had a backstory that I renounced my allegiance or to Grumsh. So I was a sort of I mean, I'm not gonna say much about my character right now, but I was sort of like a good and neutral character, and I did not want more pillagers and raids.
Right.
So I think he actually did well. My feeling was he was trying to punish me even at the end, even at my death.
Awesome. Well, we'll see how he fails here in one of Bhaal's infinite evil trials. And next up is Mammal Jono. You get that right?
Jono.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for coming out to the show. Tell us about your character.
Thank you. I am playing Fraffen Erwick III, an Aasimar Divine Soul Sorcerer. Yeah, you're going to be hearing that a lot. I'm really sorry. His mother is an angel warrior, but he was never really good with weapons. So he went into a labyrinth to try and impress her, and was almost immediately immolated by a fire elemental. So it can only go up from here.
All right, nice. Very cool. And last but certainly not least, somebody we've seen on the show a couple of different times last season. Oh, Stump, welcome. Oh, wait, I think you're on mute.
Yep. Hello
Nope.
again. I am Stump. I am joining. I'm not playing Rundar this season. I am playing instead Hopeful Moonbeam, a Goliath monk who believes that the gods created us in our image and we should not cover up that art with clothing. So the other Goliaths were not impressed with his new ideas, and on the night of his naming ceremony, when he heard Hopeful Moonbeam, he thought, oh, they're embracing me, they're recognizing. No, they were just saying I'm as useless as a moonbeam, and exiled me from the village. So
Wow.
I went down the mountains and died of exposure on my trip down the mountains, and so I shall start the bringing of my new belief system of nudity and the glory of nudity here in Bhaal's kingdom.
Wow, your new age ideals. I don't know if Bhaal's ready for them. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Before we get deep dived into today's dungeon, I want to remind you of a few things. First off, Counter Roleplay, the channel, is actually sponsored by some pretty awesome people. Fantasy Grounds, in fact, is going to be our virtual tabletop of choice today, where we'll be rolling dice and seeing beautiful maps. And you can try it all for free, in fact, on fantasygrounds.com. So you should go check that out. It is a really epically cool virtual tabletop. Finally, we are sponsored by Wayland Games, and you can get fantastic miniatures from them. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D minis, Warhammer 40k minis, all at 20% off. So get on that. Yeah, because like, who doesn't love good minis? Look, I've got mine up here. Oh, other side. I'm sorry. I'm backwards. There they are. Yeah, and last but certainly not least, you can actually interact with today's games, which is what makes this game, in my opinion, the greatest game on ERP, because you can affect the story. So to do that, all you have to do is hit the follow button. When you do that and we hit 20 follows, we get what's known as a viewer decision, where you guys get to toss out an answer to a question that I pose, and something happens in our game based on what you decide. The same goes for retweets. So if you're already a follower, hit the retweet on the link today they're going to drop in chat, and we'll have another viewer decision, which is super cool. And of course, you can always donate to affect the game. Who doesn't love giving nat 1s and nat 20s to players, wild magic surges, and technically there's been worse on this show that has been donated. So yeah, you can get on that as well and affect the game that way. Now, without any more waiting, we are going to enter Bhaal's domain once again. Now, last week on the Trials of Bhaal, our adventurers experienced probably what was one of the more traumatic endeavors of their lives, which was a rundown insane asylum. They were not only witnessed some pretty horrific things, like the birth of some kind of fetus-type creature out of the mouth of a tied-down individual. They faced a devourer, which did its name full justice and ate the most of them except for one. And we met some kind of creepy children, which we also creepily persuaded to try to put their hands in a bag, and that didn't really work out either. So we witnessed some pretty horrible things, only for the game to end with, in fact, all the adventurers being dumped into their own grave and buried alive. Now, of all of the adventurers that were buried alive in this kind of communal hole, Lay, Ari, and Derek, you guys are not this time around just buried under the ground. It seems that your environment has shifted, and you are maybe laying inside of a coffin based upon how close you are to one another. You lay shoulder to shoulder. It's dark, and the air is hard to breathe, as if it is getting very thin on you.
Does that smell you?
You guys hear me?
Yep.
I don't believe so. I smell like roses.
Oh, must be me then. Have you got much room over there?
Not particularly. No.
Oh, I hope there was like more than this.
Now, as you guys are coming to inside of your own coffin, just above the ground, the smoke kind of fades away and actually drops almost magically. 2 half-orcs, an Asmir, and a Goliath. Quite a party, if I do say so myself. Hands and knees to the ground. You guys are kind of teleported together here. And placed at the base of what can only be described as a grave. There is a headstone, in fact, that's poking out of the ground. And as your vision kind of clears, you're able to stare right at it. And it says, R.I.P. Ari and Derek.
Who
Fire!
the devil are
Fire!
you guys? What? Wait a minute, I was in my kitchen eating stew. Who are you? Why are you not wearing any clothes?
Well, I am Hopeful Moonbeam. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And
I can see your moonbeam from here.
I prefer to allow you, everyone, to enjoy the piece of art that the gods created.
I'm not enjoying. Well, look, listen. Look, I'll give you. I've got a satchel here. Put that in front of you. Just carry your, I don't know, your beans in that.
Well, then you couldn't experience the full beauty that is the Goliath
I don't know
body.
Okay, this is obviously a prank. Who said? Did Carlos send you to do this? You've knocked me out. You've brought me here. You're here with your artistic form. That's all well and good. What's this grave about?
I almost blame Carlos. Hi, I am the grave, or the top half of the grave.
So, you can say that. So, let's say, actually, Madam, roll a perception to see if you even hear them speaking, because you're about 6 foot under the ground.
Okay.
Everybody else, you guys also roll a perception to see if you hear the two of them talking fart jokes inside their coffin.
Okay.
So, everybody roll me a perception.
That's a no from me.
There are, I'm sorry, 2 bosses and what now? Oh, Ari gets a wild magic surge from his Reaver. Thank you so much. And I
Thanks,
also
Joe.
heard 2 bosses.
Starting early this week.
Yep. Wonderful. So we'll roll up that wild magic surge. Let's see, perception-wise, what we see, if we see. And then I guess I'll go into the chaos that is the wild magic surges.
I've got a 3, so I'm still distracted
got a
by
3.
the Goliath.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
have
figure out who
nothing. Yeah, Derek, your own stench is confusing you. Now, in fact, we have 2 here that hear one another. Ari, you do hear them talking above you, even over your own conversation with Derek. And Martok, you also hear something, but it's coming from the ground, under the ground. And did we get... Ari, did you roll up your wild magic surge?
I'm trying to figure it out now with
Okay.
because I know
So-
it's 4 dice. Is it just one?
Yeah, it's backslash die and then 1d 10,000. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Backslash die.
Yep. Trials. Bold. Saying things. And it was just Ari's wild magic surge, correct? Or did somebody else get them and I missed it? 72
Wow,
out of 10,000? Just Ari. Okay. All right. And we get a... Oh my god. Okay. 0, 7... Nope. Oh my gosh. I have never such heard of... Okay. After... Oh no. After each spell, the caster feels transcendent euphoria. Can you cast spells? Because if so, it's going to be a really good day for you.
I don't have
Yes.
any magic as a rogue. but
I would. Yeah.
I don't know. Make it like my sleight of hand every time I use.
Yeah, I would say anytime you use roguelike abilities, we'll change it just for the fun. You feel absolutely transcendent euphoria. I will let you interpret that however you see fit.
Oh god.
I'll let you interpret however you see fit.
Transcendent euphoria is a good show already.
So it's actually Ari and Martok. You guys hear one another speaking. Like I said, Martok, it's coming from below you, and you can rightfully assume it's multiple feet below you under the ground in this grave. And Ari, you can hear the feet, like probably maybe 3 or 4 people standing above you.
Hey, would you keep it down up there? We're trying to have a conversation.
Martok, you hear this. Somebody from like, and you're all high enough you can actually understand it. I don't know how, but
I'm not listening to what you're talking about. I can't understand.
Who are you talking
Ari's just
to?
going to.
yeah, goof, goof, goof. And you hear it, Martok. And since she's now trying to make like a louder sound, everybody else above ground, so that would be Hopeful Moonbeam, Raphron, and Ungar can all roll another perception. Did I get that right? Raphron. Raphron.
Fraffin.
Aha. Raphron. Oh, and that's 20! Holy cow! Ungar, you don't know how, but you definitely hear it. There is somebody buried below you. Oh yeah, you hear it too, Hopeful Moonbeam. There's people under your feet.
This is.
Okay,
This is.
That was 19 from me.
I think there might be some dwarves underneath us in some kind of tunnel. We should be wary.
Dwarves
Okay,
are terrifying. This is all I have to add to this conversation.
So off, so my first action is actually I'm not gonna try to actually listen to them anymore. I'm gonna try to first get my berries here. So as my first action, I'm gonna try to cast a what's it called? A divine sense, which is like 60 feet radius, and I can try to sense something really evil or something really good, but in this case, I'm assuming it's going to be evil, and try to see and try to check which type of evil, if any, are in our radius. In a
Right. Okay.
radius.
So tell me what spell it is.
It is a divine sense.
Or is it divine sense? It's your divine sense. Yeah. So it's something that you kind of basically innately have. And you close your eyes for a second and it passes over you. And in fact, you are in a very, very evil place. Everything within a 60-foot radius around you is either magical and is imbued with a certain amount of evil energy, or it is like overwhelming the amount of evil in this place. It's run by something very, very evil and worse than a demon, worse than a bad guy boss monster, like the worst kind of a thing. And actually, as you do that, we get 2 nat 20s to go to Stump and to Getly Eye. You also get one as well. So you guys have 2 nat 20s to use. Special thanks to Karahem. He donated those for you, so give him a big old thumbs up and a thank you. So you kind of sense this. Now, that being said, the reading from under the ground does not sense that the 2 people in the ground are necessarily evil, and if they are, they're nowhere near the same level of evil.
Do I have any of my stuff with me? Do I?
Everybody's geared up.
And we have also access to our. We also have access to our. So even though we had died about. You have
all of your stuff.
In a few minutes, we have all our magic stuff and so on. Okay.
Correct. You have everything. And Hopeful Moonbeam, did you want to?
Yes, I will fall on my knees at this grave and start just scooping dirt with my hands and throwing it.
Hey, careful how you bend over there.
Yeah. Why don't you roll athletics and we'll just see how quickly. I mean, the dirt's not fighting you or anything. You're able to scoop it, but let's see how well you do in terms of, digging a hole with your own bare hands.
Wait, to be honest, the deeper he gets, the better it is.
Yeah, hopeful.
dear.
You're going at it, but you're not doing a very good job. Clearly, maybe some kind of tool or some help would be necessary to completely clear it out. But the rest of you can see him doing this.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask a question about those stuff about this Goliath. I think everybody has been asking this question, but everything is like I mean, he's big, right? He's a big fellow, right?
Who is big? Yeah, he's a Goliath. Yeah.
Oh, son, Goliath. So everything, and since he's naked, everything is also big, or?
I can only rightfully assume.
Well, no,
Alright.
Unfortunately, it's not like when the gods were handing out body parts, I stood in line and asked for a small penis, but
Oh no.
I just have what they gave me. It's still
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm sorry.
Image.
But it is
I'm
a
sorry,
Goliath-sized body part.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry
still
about
bigger
that.
than
I'm not sure if I was the only one that would be wondering, but at least
I mean, there's not a whole lot of wondering. It's out. I was like, there is no wondering. I mean, it's just out there for the world to see, right? Hopeful Moonbeam.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It's out,
however, Martok, the half-orc, has never met this race before. I don't think so. So,
Oh, I
Just
see.
for
So
the-
you're just new to the Goliath race altogether.
yeah. And saying that, I'm gonna help him to with my bare hands to actually also try to dig up
Yeah.
the ground and try to free
Okay.
whoever is down there.
Yeah. Also,
So
you can roll in
for-
athletics as well.
Okay, let me see.
Anybody else that wants to help
Athletics.
dig can roll at that athletics. Yeah.
I have +6 in athletics, so let me try to do these.
Yep. So just roll that d20 and add a 6.
Die.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I got
nope. You got it.
26.
Did you?
Oh, it is.
Didn't roll. Yeah. You got to do /die d20
Oh,
plus
I'm
6.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
Or you can just roll the die at the bottom of the screen then.
Yeah. But then I've had to add my 6. But anyway. Okay.
Oh, and a nat 20.
I have a natural
Yeah.
20.
Nice. You get down there and you just like scoop it out. And between the two of you, it only takes you actually a couple minutes. It must be that half-work strength along with the Goliath hands. You guys just like empty it out. And pretty soon your knuckles hit like something solid. And it seems to be maybe the top of the coffin that the two of them are laid out in. And Ari and Derek, you hear this activity as it sounds like dirt's being scooped out. And finally, you guys hear Knuckles on the top.
This is going to have interrupted Ari's conversation with Derek, and she's just asked him the question of, if you had a ferret in your pocket, why would you prefer it to be a bear?
I mean, why wouldn't you? A bear's so much more useful than a ferret. What can a ferret do? Catch you rabbits? I can catch rabbits.
True. But
can ride
it
a
would be so
bear.
much...
I mean, you say
can
in my
mount a bear.
pocket. You don't mean in my pocket, right? That's a figure of speech.
I mean, I was thinking actually in your literal... Oh, wait, how was...
Oh. That's rude.
Yep, and as you guys are kind of having this conversation, it peels back, the lid of the coffin, and you guys are staring at this half-orc and this naked, absolutely 100% naked Goliath, who is straddling, no doubt, just due to his size, the hole.
Oh.
Have I died?
Yes.
Well, no, you're talking to me, and I haven't died.
Oh,
Oh,
that penis just talked to me.
I'm pretty sure I
think the
died, but
The
then
penis
I
talked to us.
probably got back alive. However, you guys were on a coffin, so you might
This is where I live,
died
mate.
as
This is
well.
coffee.
That's where I live.
Is it dwarves?
I dreamed of living in a coffin.
Did you find
One dwarf.
I
One
knew it.
dwarf
I knew
and
it.
a half elf.
So,
They're down there.
do you want us just to close your door and cover you back up then, or? Sorry, didn't
Oh
mean
no, we
to.
could probably use stretching our
What are
legs. I mean,
I mean,
where do I
it's-
grab to hand?
Grab my hand.
Yes, has anybody got a
Yeah.
rope?
You guys are able to help them out of this grave and the hole that you've dug. And as soon as their bodies actually exit the hole, a new event begins to happen. Right in front of you, the tombstone that once read RIP, Ari and Derek, now begins to shift, and letters are beginning to carve themselves magically into the facing of it. So you roll 20, or excuse me, not rolling, I apologize, fantasy grounds, and I'm going to read it out loud for our viewers. And these letters begin to kind of chisel, if you would, themselves out. And it reads, "Enter my stall and navigate my maze. There you will find the bubbling well ablaze. Collect the jugs, measure their weight, to swim the bubbling waters to escape. Perfect balance drains the life and frees you from this labyrinth of strife." And as your eyes begin to read down and reach the last word of labyrinth of strife, right in front of you appears the biggest, largest maze you've probably ever seen. It rises out of the ground in front of you. Everything around you shakes as you hang on. And it rises, and the walls of the labyrinth are about 10 to 12 feet, covered in this thick vine and greenery, as if a magical rainforest has just appeared in front of you. And there seems to be a single entrance that kind of slides back from the wall that is right next to this gravestone. And in fact, I will give you a very quick view of the maze, and then I'll pull up an overhead map as we kind of move through it. Let's see. There's this giant maze. You guys are wee tiny. In fact, down here is starting point for you. And as you turn around and look behind you, everything around you, even if you were to try to turn and run, is a disgusting, bubbling, festering swampland. Your only way is forward.
Maze.
What did you
That
dig
went
up?
well for me last time.
You've been here before.
There it is.
Well,
No, not here, but another maze. I was burned alive, it seems.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. 'Cause
Oh.
You're here talking to us.
You're very chipper
No,
about
this is
that death.
completely
That might have
nonsensical.
been
I don't
worse, I
understand
think.
anything.
That might have been a worse death that having your head cut off, like me.
It was
Well,
a
maybe you had
pleasant-
your head cut off. I'm perfectly fine, I'll tell you. Anyway, what's this maze about? You've been in a maze before, you say?
I've been in a maze, not like this one. The one I was in was underground. I
So
think
things
I
are looking
prefer this
better.
to being underground.
I still think
how
that
is
you
I've
two...
been in the amazing maze of maze. It was like
How
a
is it
childhood
actually-
thing.
I'm sorry. How is it actually? How is the? How do we enter this maze? It is like a portal. Is it closed?
There's a entryway
open?
right in front of you. Literally, that you're standing at the entrance. It appeared in front of you.
Well,
Ari and... Sorry, is it Ari and Derek out of the grave? Yeah.
Yeah, they are out,
Yeah.
and as soon as they came out is when the face of the tombstone changed and gave you the Bhaal's message. And then as soon as you finished reading it, this giant maze rose out of the ground.
Right, well then, I'll turn to Ari and say, shall we, I think we're going this way, aren't we?
Indeed, and she's gonna hold, like kind of link his arm, like old
skip?
chaps, like. I mean,
Whoa, wait a minute. You just popped out of the ground and made a maze appear. What's going on here?
Right. I haven't got time to stand here and wait for you to figure out that you're dead, right? So when you catch up, we'll be up there. Catch up. Skip. Or run. Whatever.
However,
Aren't they delightful?
however, a word of caution for you guys, and then you can see better my half-orc. He's clad in a mail armor, and he has this huge his huge amulet of his huge collar amulet actually, and he's wearing so he's wearing he's wielding a very big great axe, and he says to you, however, a word of caution. I am sensing an evil presence here everywhere that I have never sensed before. So we are probably in a plane or a world that is far beyond our own, and I advise caution to us all.
You're not getting it, mate. You're dead already, so nothing bad can really happen to you. So we're going to be over there.
I might be dead, but as you can see, we are not undead.
This is actually true.
Yet. And I
If I may, I do like to know who I am with before I go traversing into a maze. I've found that served me well last time. My name's Fraffen Erwick III.
What's a fantastic
I'll leave that there in case anyone else wants to say something. Yes.
Hello, Fluffle.
Nice to meet you.
I am Ungar, and I am not dead. I don't know what the man from the grave says, but I mean, he's obviously confused. He's just come out of a grave. But if this is the only way to go to get back to the guild hall, then I'm all for busting some skulls to get through a maze.
Hello, everyone. I'm Moonbeam.
Oh, yeah.
You're the talking penis,
Just
right?
as beautiful. Each of you are just as beautiful as I. Pleasure to meet you.
Aw, that's so sweet. Best intro ever.
Hello.
I am
So are you-
Bartok. I haven't introduced myself yet. I don't think so, right? I am
Well,
Bartok.
Well, I don't know if you have, but if you haven't, it's nice to meet you again.
Are you all setting off into the maze as you introduce yourself? Is anybody not entering the maze?
We are.
I know, as I
am
hear
entering
everyone's
the
names, I'm in the
maze.
maze.
Okay, I'm gonna assume since Ari and Derek went in first, they're kind of leading the way, and you can check it on fantasy. Yeah.
If they're skipping, I skip with them. Never pass up an opportunity to skip.
Yes. Never miss a chance to frolic.
I like this one.
This giant naked Goliath is frolicking behind all of you, and it actually isn't. It's not too hard to see. You can see about 100 feet in front of you. It is dim light, meaning it's kind of dark outside, or at least in whatever realm you're in, it feels like nighttime. And the air is moist as you literally cross the threshold of this maze. It's damp like a tropical forest. The walls of this labyrinth almost reach out and touch you in a strange, weird way. Everything's damp. Strange plants grow, and the ground is like soggy. under your feet from just the amount of water that's being held in it. And since Ari and Derek are leading the way, it's not hard to see that there's about 60 feet up ahead a entrance to your right, and then another about 30 foot down there's another entrance to the right, and it comes to a dead end. It's like a hallway with two doors, or two portholes basically.
Well, I don't know about you, but childhood I always was told to like keep a hand on one side.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, so you're gonna take the first one? Is your hand on the left or right? Like, what's the plan here?
Her hand's gonna be on the left, and so she's going to be holding the whole edge on the left, and basically probably leading us towards the end.
Yeah, so you go all the way to the end of this, to this about 100-foot like path that's got a lot of growth, and you kind of loop around, and the first, it would be technically the last, but it shows up, come on, draw, there it goes, and you follow the corner around, and it leads into this very small little area that opens up, you can see it here, into another tunnel that has a entrance there.
So I do have a question. How many people can fit in besides one another in this kind of corridors?
That's a good question. It's about 7 foot across, so 2 people can fit really tight, like next to one another, or you can comfortably walk in a line.
Okay, I think I'm gonna be in the back in case any evildoer or evil creature, in case they try to follow us from the back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're able to do that. You kind of take up the rear and keep an eye behind you. Anything else anybody particularly wants to do, or a space in which they want to order themselves?
I also want to.
I will stay in.
Hang on. Let her. Tell me again, Fraven.
I am staying in the middle where everyone around me can protect me.
Great. That makes total sense. Yeah, you kind of huddle in between everybody. And like I said, the plants are kind of brushing you as you walk past in this eerie way, as if maybe they're watching you. Yeah, go ahead, Martok.
So, and in that specific, since you mentioned that, actually, I have a few magical spells that could help us in this case.
So tell me which spell you'd like to cast.
If you guys are willing, I can aid our ways around this maze. So saying that, he holds his amulet, his collar actually, and casts a second level spell called Aid, which from the description it says that your spell bolsters your allies with deafness and resolve. Choose up to three creatures within range. Each target's hit points maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration, and it has a duration of 8 hours. So by then,
okay. So
I hope
which 3 people would you like to give it to?
Yeah, let me think.
There's 8 people. Which 3 of your adventuring party would you like to bestow aid upon?
So since this Freffen guy seems to be a bit more frail, I think. So he'll be.
I am very frail. Thank you for noticing.
Very kind of you.
So you have +5 of life, and since those 2 people who were buried alive or dead, I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna give Ari and Derek also.
Great. So great. So Rapid, Ari, and Right, so Fraffin, Ari, and Derek, you get 8 hours worth of 5 additional hit points, basically, so you guys can use them as temporary hit points, which I'm sure will come in handy. We shall see. But hey, 5 hit points can make all the difference. You guys you feel this like voice stir. And I would say, Ari, since magic rushes through you, you feel that euphoric onrush again. Just that little tingle. Awesome. And you guys continue, and it's pretty clear, Ari. I mean, as you run your left hand, there seems to be only one way, in fact, to continue. And you keep moving, running your left hand across and down and around, and the path leads you, keeps going. And it kind of opens up after a period of time. Right about here, you get another door, or you can go up ahead and see this kind of clearing. Which would you like to do?
Ari, after feeling that surge of magic, she's just going to be like, I didn't know frolicking could be so fun.
Frolicking is always joyous.
I'm learning my lesson here. But yeah, I guess Ari is going to keep with the left and keep going forward is her instinct.
Yeah. And you get to about right here, Ari, and the party's kind of trailing behind you. And there is a very strange thing that happens when the space opens up. And I know it looks very small on your screen, but that's actually about a 10-foot by like 30-foot area. It's big enough where all of you can stand in it. And off in this corner right here, this one, there is an eerie scarecrow. It stands almost like blatant into the wall as much as it's laying on a crossbeam. And on its shoulder sits a very interesting crow, black crow. It has a scarf, and it seems to be reading a small book. And this individual lays like dead, pieces of the body picked away, which you can only assume is the crow that's done it. And it doesn't pay much mind to all of you as you round the corner into its face.
The crow was reading a book.
Correct.
Oh, that is lovely. Is it a good book? That is a very nice scarf, although with feathers as beautiful as those, I don't know why you would cover them up. Why?
The bird like looks up and like cranes its head around in kind of that weird bird awkward way. Birds. And it takes its head and like picks a piece of disgusting rotting meat off of the literal human scarecrow, and it gobbles it down and it goes, "Rah! I am Nathaniel Cawthorn." That speaks to you. It says, "Thank you, giant, for your kind words." And it flips the book with a beak. What was that, Fraffin?
Am I able to see what it's reading?
Yeah, it looks to be some kind of small spell book. It's like if you took an actual tome and like, boom, it down. Why don't you, are you going to walk up to it, or do you want to try to do it from a distance? Try to identify.
No, it's definitely from a distance.
Okay, why don't you roll a perception and let's see if you can see what it's reading.
For sure. Plus my perception, that's 11.
Oh, an 11. It's hard to tell. It's definitely some kind of magic book. And you find it particularly interesting because of the emblem on the front of it. Why don't you roll, I would take a history or a religion check to see if you can identify the symbol on the front of the book.
Alrighty.
As Ungar comes around the corner and sees this, can I just pull a hand axe out, just sort of ready to throw it at the crow at a moment's notice? Because I don't trust
absolutely.
This bird. Not doing anything yet, just warily wondering why they're talking to this bird.
Right, yeah, you round the corner, you're like, when did crows start talking? yeah. And you kind of pull it out and prepare yourself. And what did you roll for that, history or religion?
That's a solid 4.
Yeah. You don't identify it, but you recognize it as a really scary emblem. It seems to be a skull of some kind wreathed in these red teardrops or blood drops. You're not 100% sure, but it's on such a tiny, tiny little book scale for the crow. It's very, very difficult to see. And the crow does, in fact, go back to reading its book.
So the crow talks.
A sentient crow, it seems.
Yeah. I'm going to go up to the crow and crouch down and say, "Oi, crow. What's Bhaal got for us in here?
He goes, "What?
What's
What was
Bhaal
that?
got for us in here?"
Got for you." He goes, he cries out again, "Rat! What does any labyrinth hold?"
I don't know, that's
Fire,
why
in
I'm
my
asking you.
Say
experience.
what? What was that, Fraffron?
Fire.
Oh, the bird goes, "Rat! There is liquid fire. Liquid fire."
Joy.
Is there presents and flowers and cakes?
He says, "No, not here, rat. Only the Minotaur, rat."
Repeat that just one more time. A minotaur?
Rat, correct.
A Minotaur.
Well, we're
you
screwed.
say.
I'm gonna just sit right here and just
Wait,
sit
wait a
back
minute,
down
this-
again.
This
And
just
the-
got interesting.
The crow starts like shaking its head vigorously. "Don't stop, rat! Don't stop, rat! It'll catch you. It'll catch you."
That's where fun happens, though. So
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I like your attitude,
I'm
dwarf.
what
not
I'm
running
saying,
from
crow,
no
is I'm
mine at all.
conflicted.
When Aries sits down, I pull out my rod, my immovable rod, and click it up in the air, and then bring out my hammock. I have one bag, a backpack, and bring
So where
out
did
my
you pull that
hammock
out
and
from?
hang it on
See?
the.
Mr. Moonbeam Penis here, he gets it.
Rat, you're dead, rat.
Well, yeah.
Tell me something we don't know.
The
People keep
crow.
saying that.
We might be dead because I remembered my dad, but we seem to be brought together in some form of a life or in another plane, perhaps. So we are not undead. We are alive and dead. If you catch my meaning.
He goes, "Rat. I understand, rat. I was once human, rat, and mortal, rat. Now I just eat myself." And he bends down and takes down another piece of rotten flesh off the scarecrow he's perched on.
Listen, you might all be dead, and they've sent me, the only living one, here to help you guys get through this. So maybe that's the case, and I'll help you. I'll take on this Minotaur, no problem.
The bird turns and looks at you with these beady black crow eyes and goes, "Rat! Only the dead live in Bhaal's dimension, rat!"
I throw my axe at him.
Wait a second.
I had it ready. He's calling me dead. I'm throwing it.
Duncan, all right. Why don't you make the actual attack, and we'll see if you're gonna get a surprise kind of attack on him. We'll see if he does. Let's see how you do. Did it roll?
D20.
Yeah, there you go. And how do we do? Call it out for me.
So 21.
Woo! Yeah. The axe through the airs, and it nicks the shoulder. It hits the bird, and feathers just like out. And it sticks actually inside what's left of this corpse that's hanging like a rotten scarecrow. And the feathers kind of dissipate outwards and like come back together and reform the crow. And it goes, "Rah! Not nice, not nice."
Did it
Well,
drop
that's-
the book?
I probably think that we should not attack this creature until we at least know what is evil or not. However, I am interested. What exactly is this book you're reading? Is it something that might help us in our escape from a Minotaur, or our fight actually against the Minotaur.
Actually, that's really great. Why don't you roll a persuasion? You're trying to persuade this bird to give you some info. I dig that.
Okay, so I don't have, I'm not skilled in persuasion, but I have +3.
Okay.
If that counts. So
Yeah, so just, yep, it counts for something. Roll it and give us that persuasion check.
As they're talking to the bird and throwing stuff at it, I'm picking flowers. Are there any flowers growing in these walls?
Oh, yeah, there's a really exotic, strange stuff. So out of 5, the bird goes, rah! Yeah, so okay, so Hopeful Moonbeam, you're like plucking flowers and building bouquets. You're absolutely totally able to do that. And Martok, you try to persuade this bird to give you some more information and talk about its book a little bit. And it goes, right? No, not gonna tell you too much, right? You should have read the tombstone, right?
Did it drop the book when it exploded into feathers?
It did, in fact, drop the book. Would you like to try to grab it?
I'm gonna mage hand and try and pick it up that way.
Nice! Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, your mage hand appears. It's kind of on the ground now at the base of the scarecrow, and you pick it up, and it is just the tiniest, little tiniest book. You're able to flip it and kind of peer through, and the writing is very, very small. But what you can seem to denote from it is that it is a history book of some kind that maybe this bird is actually writing, not just reading, on Bhaal. That maybe he's actually been here for quite a long time because there are years worth of notes.
This is a peculiar book you've got there.
He goes, right, that's my book, that's my book!
That explains the literal chicken scratch writing in it.
He goes, right, don't judge me, right?
I'm
sorry. How far away are we from the bird and from the book?
You guys are you're within 10 feet of it in this little area here on the map. Let me pull that around.
If I try to go near the book or nearer the book, will I see some form of action or reaction from the crow?
No, I mean he's already upset because Fraffrin has picked it up, and you can tell just by him being flustered that he's a little upset that the book is in Fraffrin's hand.
Then probably forget.
Would you like this back?
He
seems to be important to you.
Yeah, he flutters over and grabs it, and he goes, "Right, thank you. It's my life's work."
That explains very much. I was just curious as to what it was. Seems extensive.
He goes, right, it is. It tells Bhaal's secrets, right?
Oh, I should not have given that back to you. I would like that.
And he tries as much as a crow can scoop his own book, he huddles around it and he goes, right, leave the book. I'll tell you what you want to know.
Can I just grab the crow?
I'll take that offer.
Twist its head off.
You're gonna try to kill the crow again?
Just grab the crow and twist its head off.
All right,
Nice.
Make a deck.
He's unkillable. Come on, guys.
I was about to say the
Dex,
crow's
okay.
gonna. Yeah, roll a dex because you gotta grab him.
That is 15.
All right, here we go. I
Ah!
rolled a yes. The crow, right as you reach for it, once again flutters out into this poof ball of feathers, and then recapsules itself in its little crow form. He goes, rat! You keep trying that, rat! Bhaal won't let me die, rat! I have a purpose,
That's a dirty
rat!
trick.
And he looks actually to Fraffrin, who seems to be the person who has communicated the best with, and he goes, rat! Leave me alone. What do you want to know?
Where are we? How do we get out? And what can we do to better get out?
He goes, rat? Lots of questions. Rat? You are in Bhaal's house. Rat? This is his famous labyrinth. Rat?
I've never
He
heard of it.
keeps his prized minotaur here. Rat?
All right. Anything we should know about avoiding this minotaur?
There is no no avoiding the Minotaur. Only escape. Ah! Well, at the center of the labyrinth. Ah!
Center of the labyrinth.
I personally have never fought a Minotaur before, but
I have.
If it comes to it, I think I could manage to do that as well. Not just running for a minute.
We'll let you go first, then, mate. Yeah.
Can't be worse than fighting my own inner demons.
Right! Those are dark. It looks at Ari as if it knows a little something more. And it actually turns to Ungar and goes, right? You fought a Minotaur before, right? Then you know they don't lose.
It was a cow, but, you know, it was really...
It's like feathers, like Buster goes, not the same, not the same.
Not very good. I'm sorry.
Well, you say that, but, you know, one of them's standing up, so...
I'm not very good. I'm not very good with this common language. I'm sorry. I said that I had never fought a Minotaur before, but if it comes to it, I'm willing to give it a try.
It looks at Martar and goes, "Rah! You can stop and fight, but you will die. Rah! More important to find the jugs. Rah!"
Should we crack on?
And it rings true when he says jugs, the like poem that was given to you at the top on the tombstone kind of plays through all of your minds once again. And let me see if I can't quick grab that. One piece in particular, that you are to locate the jugs and to return them. 2, collect the jugs and measure their weight to swim the boiling waters to escape. Perfect balance will drain the life and frees you from this labyrinth of strife. And the crow kind of repeats these words out loud and says, "Find the jugs, take them to the well,
I don't think it could be clearer than that, then.
Well, where are these jugs then?
Do you happen to know where is at least one of these first jugs that we have to collect then?
Nice. Why don't the both of you who asked that question roll advantage, because you guys are working together on persuading this bird to tell you. Ooh. Okay. We might just get this out of him next time. Woo, okay. So you guys are, and definitely Ungar, he I don't know, maybe it's because you fought a Minotaur before and he feels inclined to inform you. But he looks at you and he goes, "Rah! You're going the wrong way, rah!"
Yep, I thought so. Yep. Turn around.
He goes, "First jug, rah! Make the left, rah! Find the triangle, rah!" And it kind of points and leads you back. And in fact, you can kind of figure out what he's talking about. There's this first left that you guys didn't take. And you're able to kind of come around. And he bids you goodbye. Good luck, rah! As he begins to once again nibble the flesh of his own body, which is his, of course, trial here, as it hangs limp and rotting. And you guys come back around.
I have the right idea.
I hand out the little flower bracelets I've made for everybody, and I put a little flower crown on the crow.
He goes, "Rah! Thank you." And it
thank you.
continues to gobble down its the flesh of this rotting corpse. And you guys kind of backtrack.
Wasn't this just fucking delightful?
Have I still got my my ear?
Would you not? Did we lose an ear? Did I miss that?
No, remember I put an ear through last week? Have I still got that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's still there.
Awesome. Can I have one of them flowers, please?
Yeah, I give everybody a little bracelet size.
Aw. Lots of flowers go around. You guys look set for a festival. And deck yourselves out. And you are quick to find, thanks to the bird, exactly what he's talking about. The space opens up and it's kind of triangular in nature. I've just updated the map. And it sprawls out in about a 30-foot kind of strangely triangular-shaped room. I say room, space, an area, and the ground gets particularly wet and soggy. As you guys enter, everybody roll a perception.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh, no. Oh. Okay, anybody else want to roll that perception? Nice rolls. Come on, come on. Oh, and at a 15 being the highest, you are quick to... Oh, nope, I lie.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hey, there it is. Okay, so the 15. So, Derek, you quickly see... excuse me. The jug, the first jug. It's a small ceramic jug. It's kind of tiny, in fact, about this big. And it is off in a corner, and it seems to be kind of like sinking a little bit into the soft, moist ground that's beginning to grow up around it. Now, you also see this Martok, but more than that, you are interested in a set of vines around the area where the jug is located. They seem to be kind of encapsulating it as if they're growing on and around it. And it's about 10 foot from you.
Okay, so Okay, so first of all, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but I see a jug. It is sort of surrounded by these vines. I don't particularly trust these vines, but I'm inclining to use my great axe to actually cut them down and get the jug.
Okay. Does anybody... I was about to say, yeah. If anybody wants to roll an insight on them after he points them out, because you guys begin to see what he's talking about after he points them out, you can also roll some kind of insight. I would also take a nature.
Can I turn to Fruffin and say, Falafel, you've got a magic hand. Why don't you pick it up with that?
Yes, I can certainly try. And I try to at the jug.
Okay, as you mage hand it, it does whatever these vines are almost come to life, and they begin to wrap themselves around tighter the jug and begin to pull it deeper into the ground. In fact,
no, you did it wrong.
Bad idea. I should not have done that.
I was about to say, did anybody roll a nature higher than a 13 or an insight higher than a 13?
I got a 17 on my insight.
Okay. Anybody else other than Derek?
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I can take a nature or a general insight on it. Higher than a 13?
16.
Oh, beautiful. So the both of you notice it's as this like mage hand reaches out and they grow closer, it's enough to make you realize that this is actually a vine blight that's covering about a 10-foot radius, probably two of them in fact, that are kind of in this corner and growing up it and down into the ground, and they're holding this tiny jug hostage.
Cool.
And now, Martok, did you want to attack it?
Oh yeah.
You had tossed out. He basically shouted out to the group. He was gonna, yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, and since you guys haven't answered me, I'm just gonna attack a part of the vine that is not specifically close to the jug, because I also don't want to hurt the jug, to try to break it. Okay. So, but not as well so far away from where the jug is.
Okay.
So I'm going.
Yeah. So it's about 5 feet from you. That's kind of where the vines are ending, and you can attack that without hitting the jug.
Yeah.
So why don't you make that attack, and then we're gonna roll initiative. So let him make the first attack, and then everybody will toss him for initiative, and we're gonna get our first battle going because you guys attacked it.
So I am sort of new in this 5th edition.
Okay.
My question is, I have since I'm level 5, I have an extra attack, right?
As a paladin, yes, correct. You get 2 attacks. with your weapon of.
However, if I can attack just once and move and then and possibly move or do or do some other else, I can attack again in this turn. Okay.
So for every turn, So for every turn, you'll get 2 attacks and a movement action. So you can definitely move your speed and then make the attack as well. So why don't you start with the attack for me, and then you can tell me where you'd like to move. So 13 plus your strength and your proficiency bonus.
I'm sorry about that. I forgot about that. It's a great axe. It is +6.
+6. Okay, so at a 19, you definitely hit these vines, and you hear them always like squeal as the axe comes down and kind of chops the tip of the vines down. Go ahead and make the damage roll. So whatever the damage die is for that.
Okay, it is D12 +3 slashing damage.
So D12 +3?
Yeah.
All right.
So die D12 +3. That's right.
Oh, you got it. Yep, I was about to say you had that extra bracket in there.
D12 +3.
There you go. So a 15. So you do 15 points of damage to the end of this thing, and it like pulls some of the vines back, but as it does so, it takes the jug down deeper into the earth. It's almost getting ready to crush it. You can hear it as it wraps around it. And I'm going to have everybody roll initiative.
Cool.
Let's do this. Moonbeam rolled an 11.
That's a 10 for me.
Derek rolled a 10.
I'm a slow
Gar rolled
dwarf.
a 15. All right, and we had Catherine roll a 13. Oh, Ari up in there with a 21, and the same thing. Hey, who has the higher deck? So Ari does. So Ari will go first, and that'll be followed by Talk as well. All right, and let me quick roll this this little buying situation here. There's 2 sets of them, so I'm just gonna roll for them at the same time, make it easy. At a 16. So perfect. So our order will be as follows. First will be Ari, second will be Martok, third will be our 2 sets of Vine Blight, followed by Ungar, fourth, fifth will be Fafrin, sixth will be Hopeful Moonbeam, and 7th will be Derek. All right, and we will start off with Ari. How would you like to begin combat? As you're kind of, I picture almost like a semicircle in this corner around this situation.
Do we have any of our weapons at all?
You have all of your gear.
All of our gear. Okay.
Correct.
So
for the first time.
I would like to then. Are there any vines in particular like lashing out towards us?
No, not directly. It looks more like it's interested in keeping the jug away from you. And it looks like the more you guys attack it, the tighter it's wrapping around it.
Okay. So the more we attack it, I would like to throw my what is it called? It's metal. It opens things.
A crowbar.
My crowbar. I'd like to throw my crowbar just like at it, just like
at the jug
hard,
or at the. Okay.
But like at it to see if it will grab onto.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Any object.
Why don't you just roll a dex for me to just like get it in the general direction without hitting the jug? That way, there's no damage or anything. We'll just call it what it is there. And what was that roll?
15.
15 hits. I say hit. So it does. It lands exactly where you kind of want it to, right next to it. And a few of the vines, like you see, wrap it and take it over, and begin to pull it into the soggy ground as well.
I will take note of this observation that it seems to just want to hold on to anything, and she starts standing behind Derek.
Okay, you position yourself behind Derek. And it becomes Martok's turn again. How would you like to proceed? You have made the attack first time around and have done pretty decent damage to the first one.
Yeah, however, I was a bit misjudging about attacking. I don't think we should attack. So, however, still, I'm probably gonna take a bit of a risk, but as long as the party doesn't mind and they don't right now because it is my turn, right? So I try to lung forward in the jug's direction, and try with my hands to free the jug from the vines.
Okay, so you're gonna step into its space.
Yes.
Like you want to step on it and get to it. Okay, so you're able to do that. You notice that as you step into it, it slows your speed quite a lot, as if the ground is restricting and restraining you to some degree. Why don't you roll a strength check, and we're going to do it against the Vine Blight to see who rolls higher, to see if you can rip this jug free of its grasp.
So I'm assuming it is a straightforward strength check and not
correct.
The athletics. Okay.
Correct.
So
yeah, it's just a straight roll.
So I have +3 then.
So I rolled a 14.
We're gonna roll this, and then I have 12, and then +3.
So 15. So you just make 15. It. You just make it. You kind of reach in and begin to like pull as much as possible, and you pop it free, but just barely. And that will be, in fact, your action and your movement turn. And we move right along to the vines. And they do not like the fact that you've done this, and they begin to reach out as you kind of pop it free, and those vines begin to kind of fling about. They latch to your feet, and it begins to constrict your feet down. So we're going to give it a go here and see if it actually hits you, in fact, with that. What did I say? Yep. Does a unnatural 20 hit your AC? There, Martok. I'm going to guess your AC's is what's your AC? You might be muted.
I'm sorry. My AC is 16.
Okay, yeah. So they do in fact hit, and you feel them like latch around your feet, and they begin to constrict and crush the bones in your feet. And you are going to take the first one, 2d6. To start, so you take 8 points of damage. The second one realizes what the first plant is doing, and it's going to join you in its activities when it realizes. So again, it rolls to hit at you said yours was a 16? Yep, so we don't hit there. So the first one hits, the second one does not. And it begins to crush. You guys can hear it crushing the bones in his feet as it begins to pull Martok into the kind of swampy corner that it is existing in. And we move right along to Ungar. You see this kind of happening about 10 foot from you.
Cool. Does Martok still have the jug in his hands, or has that been dragged down underneath with him?
Nope. It's just, he's only about shin high right now in terms of being drugged down. And it's in his hands.
Do I think I can get to Martok without do I have to step on the vines to get to him, or?
Yep, you're gonna have to. He's in the middle of them, okay. So yeah, you'd have to step on them.
Okay, instead of doing that, then I would like to pull out a torch from my pack and set it ablaze. And then nice. I suppose that'll be an action. But then if I can use action surge as a fighter to hurl the torch onto the biggest patch of vines that there is, and hopefully set them on fire.
Yeah. So let's say, why don't you So it's attacking. Yeah, so go ahead and make an attack to make sure you don't just like throw it off into the deep end. So you can make that with strength. Actually, since you're throwing it, I'd also take dex in honesty. And let's just make sure you don't roll too low.
Okay. So it'd be dex, but I wouldn't be proficient in that, I guess. So just...
Yeah, so you wouldn't add your proficiency, just that straight dex modifier.
Cool.
Woo!
Great.
With a 10. With a 10, it doesn't in fact hit both of them. It only hits the one that's already kind of latched around Martok's ankles because it can't really move or kind of slide out of the way, if you would. So you hit it, and it is going to take fire damage. So why don't you roll the d6 fire damage for me? Aha! And it takes a full 6 points fire damage. Hot diggity dog. Yeah. It doesn't like that at all. And you see it begins to kind of burn, and they pull away and continue to move towards, like almost up Martok's body as if they're trying to escape the warm flames by crawling up his legs.
Am I also gonna get some fire damage?
Maybe on my next.
I was about to say on his next turn, but not yet. He didn't actually aim it at you. He kind of aimed it next to you. So we're not there quite yet. You're doing all right though.
Cheers for that,
and then,
mate.
Yeah, and we move along to actually Fefrin. It's your turn. How would you like to involve yourself in these shenanigans?
All right. Upon seeing how the torch tactic worked out, I'm going to take out my wand and throw a firebolt.
Nice.
Mind blights.
All right, cool. Yeah, make that attack.
That's plus, what is that? 16 plus 7 is 23.
Woo! Yeah, hit. Roll that damage. Dang. Ooh.
All right. 2d10. So that's 4 and 9. That's 13 fire damage.
Sure enough, and it and the whole one of the two plants lights fire. And in fact, Martok, you are going to, I'm going to have you make a dex to try to like get it off your body before you take burn damage. So roll me a dex save, Martok. Did you hear me? Gently. Did you hear me? Maybe it's not picking up on it. Martok? Okay. You need to make a dex save for me. She lit all the fire, the vines on you. That's okay. All the vines around you on fire.
I was a bit distracted. So I have to make a dex saving throw. Is that right?
Dex saving throw, correct.
Just a sec. I have +1 on that, and then I'm gonna just roll a 20.
Woo! Yeah, you make it. As the fire takes the vines that are wrapped around your legs, like catches them on fire, you're able to like beat them off. And in fact, you can kind of dex your way out of the crispy vine patch. There is in fact one patch left, and it is really upset you kind of killed its friend. But we will move along now to Moonbeam's turn. Hopeful Moonbeam, how would you like to proceed with the last vine blight?
Everybody's out of the patch now?
Everybody's out of the patch, yeah. Martok has the little tiny ceramic vase in his hands.
Do we want to just go, or bad flowers? Flowers are supposed to be pretty.
Yeah, it does look like you could escape. There does seem to be a path just behind you guys, actually, that you have not explored yet. That seems to show there.
He's stuck. It's a flower. What's it gonna do? Wave its leaves at us? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
Yeah, give it one of your flower bracelets.
So, Hopeful, you actually take off. You leave the area and keep going.
Skipping down, yeah.
All right, you start skipping down the path. We are still technically until everybody comes out of combat in order, and it will be Derek's turn. Derek, you see Hopeful Moonbeam turn and begin moving down the path behind you to a new area you've not explored.
Cool. There's nothing else in this room apart from the vine blights, really, is there? It was just that part.
Correct. Yeah.
I think the naked man's got the right idea. Let's go. I'm just going to follow Hopeful Moonbeam.
Okay. All right. Oh, Lord. All right. And we loop back around. I'm going to say we are still in initiative because, in fact, you guys have awoken more vine blights as you rounded the corner.
Okay.
Quite a few more. So we're actually going to start over with Ari. Ari, you see them exit the space. Oh, you're on mute, I think.
With the cup?
Or
is the cup still...
Martok is still in the space. He has not had his turn to choose to leave yet. So he's still standing there as everybody else is exiting behind you.
Okay, well, I think Martok, are you armed?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. You heard her.
I am armed. However, I assume that I have my two hands holding the jug. So I've been planning my next turn to actually, if I could in the same turn, to actually throw the jug to one of you, and then
it's not your turn yet. Ari's. Hang on.
Okay,
it's Ari's turn. Yes, she's just talking.
I'm gonna grab the jug then from your hands.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so
and then run out.
And then run. Yeah, so she takes her action, and you freely let her take the jug from you. Okay, cool. Yeah, and you peace out. If you, I was about to say, and just to help where you guys are at, I put a red arrow on the map in terms of location, so you can see kind of the trajectory of where you guys are exiting. Yeah, and so you guys have pulled it. The vines see this happening. In fact, they have 60 foot of vision, and they are really, really unhappy about it, that you're leaving. And it is, in fact, Martok's turn. You kind of let this go as Ari exits the space. What would you like to do for your turn?
So I'm still being holding by one of the vines. One of my.
No, you're free. There's one still alive at your feet, but you are free.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hadn't heard that. Then I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go where this path is leading us.
Yeah. So you follow.
No more vines.
No more vines. So you think, and as you say that, in fact, you round the corner and notice that your party has now been faced with not just one or two more, but the entire hallway that you guys are walking down has come to life. And there's about 10 or so of these that you guys have awakened as you round the corner with the jug that they're supposed to be protecting. And these vine blights are going to take an attack, a constrictor attack on each of you as they wrap around you. And so we're just going to go in order. Each one of you get one because there's that many of them. The whole area and space around you just comes to life and begins consuming all of you.
Yay.
Yay! So, and on that one, so that's the one that actually tried to grab Martok's foot as you exit the space. That one was a solid fail on him, without question. It's going to make the next attack on Ungar at a 23 for constricting you. I'm guessing that hits?
Yeah.
Oh. So you'll take 10 points of damage there from the first one as it begins to pull you under. It has grappled you basically, and is crushing your feet as it drags into the soggy ground. We have another attack, this time on Ari, as she rounds the corner at a 15 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Yep. Death by vine, 11 points of damage. As it too, one of them latches onto you and begins to crush you and pull you into the soggy ground as it begins to fill your boots.
She's just gonna kind of fall over, but still be holding onto the cup for dear life.
Yeah, you got the yeah. Fafrin, one reaches out and attacks you as well, since you were kind of leading that party at a 17. that hit you?
Yeah, that hits.
All right, and you also get 2d6. So you're going to take 12 points of damage as it wraps around you and begins to crush and pull you under. We get another one on Derek. Oh, I did not do that one right. I apologize. That is not at all how that equation should have worked. At a 15 to hit Derek?
Nope. Does not hit.
You manage to like dodge it. You see it coming with all of the people like around you, or all of these vines around you as they're attacking your colleagues here. And then we are, last but certainly not least, are going to hop on Hopeful Moonbeam. And actually, two are going to attack Hopeful Moonbeam because you're so large. They decide to double attack you. Oh, Ari, you got some wild magic surges. Thank you. We'll get to those momentarily. Two, in fact. Let me finish rolling up this here, see if we hit our giant Goliath. Oh, and fail. You're just too big. It can't get itself, like, wrapped around you. So, Ari, why don't you roll up, what did we say? You, in fact, can see secret doors but cannot see normal ones. Well, that's a really good thing, in fact, because there is a secret door at the end where it looks like it dead ends. There's some kind of secret passageway. And you want to join the next
to, like,
block of person.
Scramble, be like, there's a door! There's a door!
Yeah, and she basically what she does is she points to this like section right here. As if it looks like another wall of vines, and I'll share that one with you, updated. It does look like just another set of vines, but for some reason, this one spot right here is catching Ari's eye. It's like glowing almost within her view, but she is being pulled under and sucked under by these critters, these vine blights. And we would start keep moving. So Martok, it is the boss is Ungar's turn. There are tons of them to attack.
I've got vines crushing my feet, so what I want to do is lean down and undo my bootstraps and slip my feet out of my boots, and then I want to leap onto Hopeful Moonbeam like a piggyback and just ride Hopeful Moonbeam to the clear.
All right, so what we're going to do is I'll let you make a sleight of hand to like quickly undo your bootstraps, and then I'm going to let you make a athletics or an acrobatics to jump onto Hopeful Moonbeam's back. So those will be your two rolls for your turn.
Just keep taking all the clothes off. You'll be amazed how
right,
exhilarating it is.
Yeah, at a 13, I'm actually going to say that you probably do manage to get your boots undone. It's not hard. You put your boots on and off many a time. So you kind of undo them. Let's see if you can make your athletics here or your acrobatics, whichever you choose, to hop a ride on the great Hopeful Moonbeam. Oh, at a 15, yeah, you, Hopeful Moonbeam, you can't help but feel somebody, like, latch themselves to you, backpack style, ride the Moonbeam. It is the answer to life and universe and everything, as you do latch yourself on. And that was Ungar's turn, and we move right along to Fafrin. How would you like to proceed? I think you're officially strapped down too, aren't you?
How many of them are within 5 feet of me?
You can rightfully assume that you've got at least 7 or 8 of them surrounding the area. You've got one attached to your feet, but between like the walls and everything kind of moving and growing, there's about 8 of them.
Within 5 feet of me?
Yeah. I mean, they're like all around you. They're beginning
Awesome.
to overgrow. Yeah, they're surrounding you.
Okay. Then change of plans.
Oh.
Give me 1 second. Okay. This is happening earlier than I thought it would.
Let's do it.
I'm going to use my Radiant Soul ability as an Aasimar. I am unleashing the divine energy within myself, causing my eyes to glimmer and 2 luminous incorporeal wings to sprout from my back.
Oh! Okay, well,
I have a fly speed of 30 feet now.
Okay, so yeah, you, let's say I am gonna let you make a strength check with advantage because of the wings, but they did have your feet, so you gotta like take flight to break free of them. So you guys see this wing protrude out of Fafrin's back as he tries to take flight. So why don't you just quick roll the strength with advantage?
Alrighty. Plus my strength fire. That's a 12.
A 12. I would say yes, you just break free, but they are still reaching for you. Just managed to get yourself loose, your feet loose. Oh, I'm sorry. And we move right along to Hopeful. You got somebody on your back, yo.
Okay, and then with him on my back, I am going to reach down to Ari, who has the jug, correct?
Correct.
And I am going to try to pull her free from whatever's, and I'll use my natural 20 on that.
Beautiful. Yeah, you reach down and pop Ari free of the loose like ground. You just like, rip her, and you rip vines going with it. They call out as if maybe that hissing noise again, as if maybe you actually did some damage to them as well. Yeah, so that was your action. Do you want to take any movement?
I am going to run towards the end and set them down, or hurt Ari down, and assume that he gets off my back and turn to go back and get the others.
Okay. Yeah, so you make it the additional about 20 feet is all it takes to get to kind of the end point where Ari keeps pointing like there's some kind of door, even though you don't necessarily see it. Ari, in fact, based upon your last Wild Magic Surge, I don't know if you've ever seen an Asmir before take flight, but in fact, the caster wants to join the next flock of bird, you see. So you might, in fact, consider this your flock of birds.
I will. I will.
Yeah.
Make me one of you.
That's very difficult.
Holding the jug up to Fraffen.
And you see this happen. You're about 20 feet away. I was about to say you're about 20 feet out. And Derek, it is your turn.
So I'm not grappled or anything, am I?
You are not. You are free to try to make the run.
Yeah, is everyone free? Actually, I don't care. I'm just going to run for it.
I think everybody is, in fact, free, at least until the Blight's next turn.
I'm just going to run head on at that wall that she keeps saying is a door.
All right. What is your speed?
25.
Yeah, you are you going to stop when you get to the end, or are you just going to barrel through?
I'm just going to barrel through.
Okay.
I only have one way to open a door.
Yeah, you like you hit this vine kind of like wall and find out pretty quickly that it in fact has concrete behind it as you take 5 points of damage as you run smack into it, and you realize that whatever doorway she's talking about, you're not exactly sure how to open, and the vines begin to consume you, like actually like absorb you in. You guys see his face like start to like disappear through the last thing, and you hear the vines crunch his bones. As this is going to get kind of intense. Let's see how we do. Oh, I'm sorry.
The best decisions.
Yep, it's all right. In Bhaal's place. So you take another 14 points as it begins to consume you and strangulate you into this wall. All right, you can look up. He's right next to you and see this kind of taking place. But it looks like he's disappearing from your sight in terms of the door. It looks as if maybe he's figured it out and death is the way through. You're not 100% sure. And we roll back around, and it is in fact your turn, Ari.
This is making me think of Devil's Snare.
Yeah.
Ari, she's been holding her cup up to Fraffen and is just kind of in awe of Fraffen's wings. And she's now just there selfishly thinking like, I want wings. I want to fly. I want to be an Asimir. Like, how do I become an Asimar? Like, she's just probably selfishly just thinking about how on earth could she get wings while she's like slowly being like dragged away. I'm guessing still. Yes.
Yeah. So he actually dropped you right there at the doorway. You're watching as Derek is being consumed. Hopeful Moonbeam took you straight to it.
Oh, sweet. Right. Okay. I will do a trustful backwards into where the door is.
And since you are giving in willfully, another... you take a whole bunch of damage, another 15 points, a bunch of ones, as it begins to also consume you. It reaches out and laps you into its throngs, and you can feel it's beginning to crush your esophagus and penetrate your skin as it moves up and through your body, consuming you altogether. And it is Martok's turn. You watch this as it looks like they are being absorbed into the end of the hallway.
Thank goodness for those temporary hit points.
I'm going where I saw them last, and we'll also try to be engulfed in this vines. However, I'm not sure how far am I away from them?
20 feet. 20 feet.
Okay, but I'm gonna try to have an action ready in case any of the vines that are in from my current position until if they attack me, I'm gonna attack them first. But
okay, great.
But assuming that it's not the case, I'm just going to go to them.
Okay, so you cross down to where Ari and Derek are being kind of overtaken by this vine growth. And watch this happen. Also down there is Ungar, if he hopped off of Hopeful Moonbeam's back. And Moonbeam, who looks like he's getting ready to run back and grab any scragglers that are left. And it becomes the vines' turns. And once again, the vines will make attack on pretty much everybody. So I'm going to roll one general attack for all 8 of them. And then I will do one general damage as well, just to speed up process here. So one good roll, a 21 to hit. So if your AC is less than 21, you all take damage this time around. And because of the ongoing, more and more of these vines are coming in, you're actually beginning to get overtaken by them. It's getting thick to try to move through them. They're coming in from on top. Even you can feel them beginning to crush in on your wings there, Fafrin, as the whole hallway feels like it's trying to eat you. And let's roll some serious damage here. Yep. And another 13 points to anybody that is still left standing. So everybody take that 13 points. Is anybody officially gone in terms of their HP actually being done? Anybody? Not yet? Oh my God. All right. And right when we think that everything is... like you guys might actually get out, Ari and Derek, you guys feel the cold hand of something reach into the back of your necks through the door and pull you free of the vines and through. And you guys watch as Ari and Derek both disappear into the vines almost magically. And they are gone from out of sight. There is no more at least jug or vase from what you can tell. And that would actually skip us along to Ungar. You watch this right in front of you as they just like disappear in the vines.
I don't know if you said before, but is there a ceiling in this labyrinth, or is it?
It's almost like a makeshift ceiling. It's like a canopy that's growing over top of you as if it's tunneling out to swallow you whole.
But I don't think I could get over the wall that way. Does it look
you could give it a... I was about to say, you could give it a try to fight through it and maybe climb the wall if you wanted.
Yeah, well, I just got off of Hopeful's back, so I'm going to climb back on it and try to, using him as leverage, leap over the wall, slashing as I go,
Oh my
try and
God.
get over.
All right, so make the athletics for the jump, the climb and jump, and then I'll let you make the attack if you make the athletics. Love it. Climb the walls. Get out, get out. Oh, at an 18, you in fact do climb the Goliath and make the jump. And you're kind of like coming down on the edge of the wall, and you catch yourself and you're kind of hacking away, trying to get through. So roll the attack on the vines.
Would that just be one attack, or do I get extra attack on that?
If you usually have 2 attacks, we'll take both attacks.
This is the first one.
21 hit. Damn.
Second one.
An 18 hit. Roll some damage on the vines around you.
Okay, I'll add it all together for this.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, I do that all the time. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. At a 19, yeah, you piece away most of it, but it's not quite enough to get your body like fully through. There's a hole you've like chipped away, and it looks like they're kind of quickly growing back. And since you're now hanging from the wall, you have awakened a new set, and they're going to make a quick attack of opportunity since you entered I say attack of opportunity. They are joining combat because you've awakened them as you smash your body against the wall. At a 15 to hit you?
Yeah, that hits, yeah.
Woohoo! And you take another 21 points of damage as this thing like grabs your body and starts to pull you into the walls. You can feel the vines piercing your skin as they try to puncture you, almost turning you into a scarecrow in itself. And it is Fathrin's turn, who is mid-flight, in fact, and the hallway's beginning to kind of collapse down on you. You're losing space to be able to fly.
All right, I've got 30 feet of movement. I'm just gonna dash as far as I can to the end of that hall, seeing how Ari and Derek just disappeared in. I'm like, this is probably the right idea. Let's just go with it.
Right.
Fling myself into the mine.
And as you fly towards it, right before you hit the wall, like, you had some balls to run at it as hard as Derek did. And right before you get there, you guys see this kind of ghostly black hand reach out, grab you by the throat, and pull you through.
Oh, no.
And it goes dark for you as well. And it is Hopeful Moonbeam's turn. You watch as all this happens. He like springs off your back. He's now being engulfed. How tall are you? It's gotta be like 7 foot? Yeah. It's beginning to kind of collapse. It's about 10 feet. You can reach up and touch the top.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 unarmed attacks, but I'm gonna flavor it. I'm just gonna reach and grab one of these and smack it. Grab
Smack it with itself.
Just slam it against the ground, going, bad flower, bad flower.
Oh my God. Okay. You in fact do that. It's gonna smack itself, I guess. So we'll just consider that a general bludgeoning. So I would just take a D6 attack plus your strength, or so make the attack and then make the damage at a D6.
1 plus 6.
Hit. So now roll that damage. Dang.
6 plus 3.
Oh, how much damage does it do? Oh, you smack it with itself, and it only does like 4 points of damage as you're like whacking it with itself. It does not like that, in fact, at all, as it becomes, oh, no, it is not Derek's turn. We skipped Derek, we skip Ari, and we go to Martok. You watch Martok as Fafrin was like ripped in. Helpful Moonbeam is still fighting for his life, and so is Ungar as he's like struggling against the wall to try to climb it. How would you like to proceed, Martok?
I assume that Ari still have the jug, right?
Yeah, and she's gone. She's completely disappeared with jug in hand.
Clutch to my chest.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to try to play. I mean to actually RP my my paladin, and however, I'm gonna ask you first. How bad looking are Ungar and Hopeful, and in terms of health, are they bad looking?
Why don't you roll a perception? And then if he rolls high enough, you guys can tell him how you're doing in terms of HP.
Perception is +4. I'm just gonna roll a 20, and then you can add my +4.
So 19. So at a 19, he definitely notices Ungar and Hopeful Moonbeam, and Bathrin's gone. How are the two of you doing in terms of health?
Yeah, I'm pretty low. I'm about a quarter of my HP, down to 15.
Okay.
I'm at 2/3.
Okay, so you can kind of get an idea that there. It looks like Moonbeam's probably doing all right, but Ungar's taking a pretty hard hit as he gets ripped across the wall. Is there another action you would like to take, or would you like to also make the run for the door?
Let me think about my spells that I still have in handy here. Okay, can I try to cast a spell called a first level spell called command to the vines, if it is like the same creature. I mean, it says here is that a command attacks a creature, so it's not only.
And I make a wisdom saving throw. What is your spell AC?
14.
All right, so I've got to make a wisdom save as these vines here.
Exactly. I'm gonna. I'm not sure if you have to roll before I say my command, but.
Yeah. So I roll a nat 1, in fact. So the vines are not wise enough. What would you like to try to command one set of them to do?
So as far as I understand this spell, I have to give like really, really short commands, right? So I believe
it's got to be very, very short.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell them all to flee, but I'm gonna. I mean, if they are like one creature or more, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna focus my my command on the stuff that is attacking Anga, and I'm gonna tell the vibes, flee from here.
All right. Only one of them. You only get it on one. So let me double check. It's within 60 feet. So most of the vines, I only made one wisdom save, but they kind of hear you. Some of them seem to obey, some of them don't. And the ones wrapped around Ungar, since you're kind of focusing it on them, in fact, is they seem to release a little bit Ungar as if they are fleeing from the space, but they're not really going anywhere. It's almost like they're going back to their original position. But they have let go to some degree of you as you now hang from the ledge. And it becomes all the vines' turn. And there's only 3 of you left, so you're each going to get attacked by 3 vines apiece, because there were, in fact, 9 of them. So what I'm going to do is roll a set for each of you. So the first one will go to Martok, who just attacked. Does a 21 hit you? I assume so. All right, so I'm going to roll damage, and you're just going to multiply it by 3 as if all 3 of them hit you. Again, to speed up our process. And you take 35 points of damage from the first one, actually 3 times over. So the vines basically engulf you. The ones that didn't fall under your command did not like that. And you will take 105 points of damage as they engulfed you and pull you into the soggy ground. And Ungar, they're going to reach out and attack you. Let's see. Last chance here to get you. And an 8 doesn't hit. The ones that released, they seem to be dead set on fulfilling the command that Martok gave them. And last but certainly not least is going to be our hopeful Moonbeam. And you two will be attacked by 3 sets of them. And a nat 1! No! Chelsea is losing so hard in these nat 1s today, as they just cannot get a hold of your giant body. It is now Martok's dead, so it rolls. I think the only person left, Ungar. It's your turn.
Cool. First thing I'll do is, I'll think for a moment about Martok's sacrifice for me, and then I'll shrug it off and use my second wind as a bonus action to heal 9 hit points, which gets me up a little bit better. And then, do I think that where I am I sort of halfway through where I was cutting through, or would it be easier to just go through?
You're about halfway through in terms of like climbing the wall. You can like see over the other side through a hole that's about this big. So you can make attack again and try to keep chipping away to fit your body through, or you can release and probably make it to the end where they kind of disappeared.
Can I see anything through that hole? Do I see them on the other side?
On the other side, you see something very interesting. For the first time, just kind of like at a distance, you see, I'll kind of give you a trajectory here of what's showing up. So you kind of get this view where, basically over the wall. So I've updated that map, and you see this strange oasis that appears here in the center, which you can only assume is the well that the crow kept talking about and that was mentioned in the area. But you're kind of like looking over and peering, and it's hundreds and hundreds of feet that far direction over all of these walls. And you see something very interesting. Actually, why don't you roll a perception and let's see if you pick up on it as you kind of crest through the pier.
Okay, cool. My perception's a -1, so let's see how this goes.
May or may not see it, but
lovely.
And a solid 1. You can't see anything other than that. Just this oasis that kind of appears. It seems to be almost centralized in the middle of this just giant labyrinth, much larger than you probably had expected that it would be. And I'm going to open this up a little bit more too, so you guys can kind of see the kind of spectrum. The labyrinth kind of comes into view, at least for you, Martok. And you can see that you guys haven't even cleared like a quarter of it. That Bhaal uses this as just a place where you get lost. And are fed to his Minotaur. And so you notice this, Ungar. Is there any other action you'd like to take, like an actual physical movement action?
Yeah, I don't see Ari or Derek. They've just disappeared. Is that right?
Yeah, from what I mean, with that 1, there's not a whole lot you see.
Okay. I think what I'll do is, if I think I'm halfway through and there doesn't seem to be vines in through the hole, so I'm just going to keep on slashing through to try and come out the other side and hopefully meet up with the others shortly. So I'll roll my 2 attacks if that's okay, and then
Yeah, go ahead. Roll the 2 attacks. You notice it, and we'll call that what it is. You're looking to beat a 12. Oh, not 20! Crit damage!
Oh, nice. I'll give it a second. First, see if they both... The second one probably doesn't.
Okay, so the first one hits for sure. Not the second one, and roll that damage for the first one, and it'll be double.
Okay, so it'll be normally it's 2d6 plus 3, so it'll be 4d6 plus 3, but then my half orc, so I get an extra die damage. So I think it'll be 5d6 plus 3.
Oh!
Try and get through there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one that you were hacking through, you just like it peels away, and you're able to, if you want to, on your next turn, like hop over the edge. And it goes to Hopeful Moonbeam, who's still just like the vines cannot latch onto.
I look up, see he's cut the hole, and say, "Do you see them?"
No, but it looks a lot better over here. I can see the middle of somewhere.
So I'm gonna push him, and I'm gonna climb through.
All right, great. So you give him a push over. Why don't you make a dex save, Ungar, to land on your feet? Because you're dropping off of about a 12-foot wall.
Cool.
You'll take some fall damage if you don't.
Save. Yes. +2.
How do we do? Is he gonna make it? Another nat 20! Woo! He like pushes you over and you like land on your feet. And in fact, as you land on your feet, you hear something strange, as if the sound of a hoof matches the sound of your feet hitting the ground. And Hopeful Moonbeam, you too are able to pull yourself up and over and land next to him, only to notice that there are, in fact, 2 Minotaur that are about to charge the both of you. It seems that they have found you. And the vines, it is their turn, and they're going to seep open over the wall and try to grab the both of you once again. Since there are, in fact, 9 of them, 5 of them will attack Hopeful Moonbeam, and 5 of them are going to attack Ungar. And we'll see if this doesn't complete our trial. So, go. 16 to hit.
Yep.
16 hits. All right. No, you're good. That was correct. So 66 plus the 2. It helps if I tap die before it. And we will that's about 150 plus points of damage. You could do the math there. So they just they jump you as you come off the side and rip you into the vine wall. And we will make the attack on Ungar. So D20 and a 4. Does a 12 hit you? Nope. That's okay. I was about to say, you clearly cannot die. You actually are also we're going to add the first Minotaur into this set. And the Minotaur is not happy that you are in his space. And he's going to make his first charging attack. And let me see, because I believe he gets, Okay, yep. So he's going to make an attack on you because he basically charges you with his horns. The first one does. A nat 20! Yes! Aha! And he runs, and you're not sure if it's just because he catches you off guard or what, but that Minotaur is going to do some serious damage on you. So I want to make sure I get, yep. So we're going to do 4d8 piercing. Which adds on a total of whatever that number is there, 15. So it does 15 points of damage. The first one does. The second one will also charge and try to run you through with a horn. You're not dead yet, are you?
No, I'm down to 9.
It's all right. Oh no, it is 6. It's not enough. You actually get a turn if you would like to try to attack the Minotaur.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to go out anyway, it will be going out facing off against 2 Minotaurs. So I'll take my first attack against the one that hit me.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, he's kind of run you through with his horn there. At a 19, okay. I actually think that will hit because it doesn't wear any armor.
Cool. And that's 11 damage on the first attack.
Nice. Okay, so it takes that pretty heartily. In fact, you notice it doesn't seem to budge much.
Okay. Well, then I think with my second attack, then rather than take the Minotaur down as he seemed to take that on the chin, I'm just going to lunge my sword into my own chest, and as I take my own damage, I'll say, "Well, no one else killed me. and I'll.
Oh, damn. Okay, cool. I was hoping somebody eventually would do that. So you run yourself through. Why don't you just roll damage for yourself on your sword? Oh, man. Little Harry Carey action.
It's going to suck if you roll an 8.
I know, just like, oh, at a 9! You do it! You kill yourself! And we finally have our first TPK, as everybody in some way, shape, or form has been kind of taken over. And you hear the Minotaur go, no, no, as it watches you run yourself through with your own blade. And you kind of fall to your knees, and something interesting happens. As you hit your knees, Ungar, and the last bit of life kind of fades from you, everything around you almost stops. And from around the corner where the Minotaur charged you, walks a strange Reaper-style figure. He's in dark, dark robes, and he holds his hand out as if he is like, stop time. And you hear his deep voice say, good, good. Taking your life, I see. You have gotten the hang of this trial. You, sir, you may pass to the well. And Bhaal snaps his fingers, and Ungar, you find yourself standing, the only one right now that you can tell, in the middle of this beautiful, luscious oasis. And I'm going to see if I can't give you guys a quick peek at this lush oasis that you have entered. Excuse me. It is, in fact, just really extraordinary. And there seems to be some kind of in the middle of this bubbling pond, I guess you could say. It seems to be pouring out of a water that has no source. You guys see what I'm showing you? See what I'm putting down? And you enter actually from this space here. And you're standing right about there at the entryway overlooking this. And you notice something really interesting. Over here where this plant is at, there's a whole lot of this plant kind of life. And the faces and bodies. I'm gonna break it up.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I can't see the image.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang on, reboot.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hopefully I'm back. Okay, there we go. So you guys are able, so as you get dropped, Ungar, out of the kindness of Bhaal's heart for taking your own life, you overlook this kind of luscious oasis, and there are some trees and big ones, in fact, trees and kind of plant life off in a corner, and it looks like the faces and bodies of your companions are kind of like gnarled in it. And at their hands, the way a tree is wont to do in this kind of crooked position, each of them hold a jug.
All right. I remember now. Something about jugs and filling them up. Right. Let me see what's going on here. And are they all different sizes, these jugs?
They are, in fact. There are 6 of them. The one that Ari originally, the tiniest one that originally Ari saved, is already sitting there, basically at your feet, where you stand. And then the other 5 are in the hands of your kind of tree-like colleagues. And yeah, and you guys are able to actually talk to him. It's very difficult. It's as if everything is like growing inside of you, but you can't actually speak. And you see Ungar across the way, literally, standing over here, having entered the oasis.
You made it, Ungar. I knew you would.
Oh, you can speak. Oh, that's probably what you wanted, really, wasn't it?
Well, it's not the worst thing.
Yes, you're made of wood, I guess. That's a good thing. Right. Now, obviously, I'm here because I was the one that was alive all along, like I told you. But I think you're going to have to help me out getting through this because I am rubbish at maths. So if you guys know what I'm going to do with these jugs, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll tell everyone, when I get back to the mortal realm, I'll tell everyone you were really swell guys.
You're a swell guy too.
So I think I need to
that's
fill them
cute.
up. I think I need to fill them up, and they've got to have the same amount in each one. But they all seem. Are they all different sizes? Yeah.
So, what you notice, basically, in essence, from all of this, I'm going to show you an overheaded view of this map because I think it will help you understand. Each of the jugs are a different size. There seems to be something carved on the side of it, a number, on each of the jugs, and they correspond, in fact, with the internal pillars, the ones that don't have a lid on them. So, make sure I showed that. I'm pretty sure I did. So these 6 right here each have a corresponding number, as if maybe they need to be placed on top of the pillars to activate whatever it is. Now, you also notice for the first time that the water is boiling. It is like a hot geyser. There are skeletons of people who have tried to swim it or hopped in it, laden along the basin of this pond.
Okay. So I'm going to. Are the pillars numbered, and they've got matching numbers on the jugs?
Correct. And there seems to be something in each of the jugs. You can shake it and hear some kind of liquid.
Okay. Well, I'll start by just trying to put the jugs on each of the corresponding pillars without trying to fill them up or anything, just to see if that does anything. What do you guys think? Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Trees. Our tree army. Yeah, you're able to, you see that kind of where they correspond. So what I'm going to need is actually, in fact, an athletics check. Because you have to cross onto these kind of platforms up here to get to them and place the jugs in place. You're going to have to do a little hop, skipping, and jumping. So I'm going to make you do the first athletics to actually place 2 of the jugs. You'll basically roll an athletics each time. Out of 14, okay, you make it. You do, and you're able to place the first 2 jugs. So that would be this set here, these 2 here. I'll kind of label them. I'm gonna write numbers, maybe 1, 2, and 3. And the first 2 take the largest one, and you kind of shake it. You can even pop the kind of cork out of it. It is the largest of all of them. It's huge, and it seems to be filled with some kind of blood, thick, old, congealed blood. You cap it and set it in its appropriate place. The one next to it looks to call for a medium-sized jug, and you shake it and open it up, and it looks to be filled with clear, pure water, and you set it next to it. And as you do so, I'm going to need you to make a dex save, because the entirety of the external relic begins to shift like a clockwise, begins to turn this way.
Ooh.
Woofa! What did we do? Yeah, nice. And you hang on as the exterior shifts and clicks and stops in place, as if, actually roll an insight. Let's see if you can figure out maybe what direction and why it's shifting. Take an insight on that. The trees, you guys see this happening, and you can communicate with him freely. At a 12, the only thing you can recognize is something about the external one is trying to align itself in some way with the internal pillars and the internal circle. Make another athletics to move on to the second set.
Okay.
Holy cow! At a nat 20, I'm going to say you managed to get the next 2 in place, which are the 2 smallest jugs. One of them has some kind of strange, disgusting oil in it. And the one next to it has some kind of bodily bile.
Can I be ready to expect it to move and just prepare myself to hold on to the pillar a bit?
Yeah, I would say with that high of an athletics, in fact, you put those 2 and it does shifts again. And you realize for the first time, if you look at the 3D view, that there are 2 empty pillars in the exterior circle that have no cap on them. The single interior ones are looking to align with these. And it does, in fact, align, and it settles. But it seems like the last 2 jugs are necessary to actually unlock the key. Unlock it. So, out of 20, you set the next 2 in place. You check these as well. These are full. One of them's full of some kind of milk. for sure, and the other's full of some kind of strange, smelly white fluid. Not as thick as milk, but still kind of milky in texture. And you place these in, and you feel it. The whole exterior relic begins to sink into the boiling water, and some kind of hole opens up in the middle, and it begins to start a whirlpool as it begins draining down, and it's splashing up hot water everywhere around you. And I'm gonna have you make one more dex to see if you can hang on, or you can choose to hop off of it, because it does look like the platform that you're standing on is I'm gonna clear the drawing, which is in fact this one right here is sinking under the water.
Okay. And it seems like the hole is the way to go, I guess.
It's draining. It's the only thing that you can imagine. It seems to be draining the
okay. Well, I'll just choose to I'll look back at my tree friends and say adios, and then I'll choose to go through that hole and hopefully come out free me from the labyrinth of truth. Yeah.
Are you in fact going to wait until all the water drains, or are you going to hop in while the water is draining?
I'll wait as long as I can for as much of the water to go as possible, and then
it's almost out of there, and you hear a familiar of hooves, as if the Minotaur have chased you all the way to the center of the labyrinth. They've taken them this long to get here, and they have tracked you down, and they appear in the entryway here and go, no one escapes my labyrinth, as they rush to try to grab you. And they don't quite make it as you make your running jump into the empty hole. And sure enough, you fall into blackness.
Remember, nude is the way to go.
I'll remember that.
And we hear this. The Minotaur looks over and sees that the rest of you are encapsulated in some kind of like vinage, and the trees have got you. And it clops over and says, yes, I still have 5 more trophies. Would you guys like to try to break free of your tree barricade?
Yes. Can I cast Thunderstep at 3rd level and teleport myself to the hole that has just been opened?
Yes, you sure can.
Cool, I'm gonna do that.
Awesome. Yeah. And as the Minotaur says this, your body disappears, and he goes, no, as it looks, and you appear right above the hole, and just like the coyote from the Roadrunner, you like levitate air momentarily, and then you like and fall straight down the hole, and he goes, nah! As it reaches out and is going to try to grab Martok by the throat and rip you clean of the tree that you're in. Would you like to take an action, Martok, before the Minotaur does this?
I am gonna try to, let me see. So assuming I have still my spells back,
you would have you don't have any, you haven't had a full rest yet, so you're not going to replenish anything.
No, it's okay. Just the spells that I haven't used it yet. The spell slots that I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
Let me try to. I'm gonna try. And this is very good because this is a spell that it has only a verbal component. So.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna try a Misty Step. So a Misty Step is that I'm surrounded by mist and you teleport to 30 feet.
Okay. I would definitely say you teleport above the hole.
However, since I'm trapped by some sort of tree, I'm not sure if I need to roll something for that.
No, you would not. The Misty Step happens instantly. You like kind of mist away, and you appear right above the hole 30 feet out.
And that's also a that's actually a spell that is a bonus spell, a bonus action spell.
Okay, so are you not wanting to go down the hole? Is there some other action you'd like to take?
So I look at my other companions, and I think about my the oath that I still have to vow, assuming that I get back to my own plane, or some other plane with some other evil creatures that I'm not sure. But I say to them that I'm sorry, I am bound to my oath, and I'm gonna try to fulfill that as best. I'm sorry. I am still bound to my vow, to my oath, and I'll try to fulfill that as best as I can. I have to, actually. It's something that's demanding of me. So I'm gonna have to leave you guys and try to make my way out. And then I go to the
hole.
To the hole.
Yeah, and you misty step, and same thing, you levitate just momentarily over it as you say your final vengeance words, and you plummet into the hole behind your other two comrades. Anybody else want to take action? Who did he reach? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna try to just muscle my way out.
Yeah, you want to just like burst free? Roll me a strength for sure. And call the number out for me.
9.
At a 9, not strong enough to break free. The Minotaur laughs. Trusty plans, always keeping my prey in place.
I would also like to come in.
Yeah, burst free, go for it.
I'm going to try from wriggling my fingers first, and then using like the empty fingers if I can.
Okay. Yeah, yours is a little bit more dex-based.
Okay, so go roll for dex.
Yep, go ahead and roll it for dex. Haha, yes! You like wiggle. You wiggle yourself free. Maybe it's just the euphoria of using your roguish skills that you tickle yourself free.
I'm just really enjoying wriggling right now. It is bringing euphoric vibes.
Minotaur says, no, you should not be enjoying this, as it gets very, very, very angry at you.
Quiet, Ungar, we should all enjoy life.
Yeah. Last but not least is Fafron. Would you like to, oh no, you went down the hole. It's Derek. That's all we've got left.
Doing my best impression of a tree. And hope I don't get noticed.
Okay, yeah, roll a deception. You're gonna try to deceive the centaur that you're actually a real tree.
Roll for tree deception. Let's have a look.
Tree deception.
This is me now.
Oh,
this is me.
That is a 5.
A 5.
Solid tree deception roll.
The Minotaur like side eyes you, and goes, "I see you, dwarf. I see you." As he is in fact going to take a turn and try to rip Ari and Derek this time free of the tree. So you guys make opposing strength checks against me, as it tries to rip you out.
Just straight strength.
Yeah, just a straight strength. Oh, he didn't do so hot. That was the one for Ari.
Oh god, that's a 7.
Oh, let's see how Ari, in fact, manages to not get pulled free. You kind of withstand his grab for you. Unfortunately, unless I roll really poorly. Derek, on the other hand, gets grabbed by the throat and ripped clean of the tree. And that will be the Minotaur's turn. Hopeful, is there anything you would like to do as you see him kind of go into combat with these guys, or rip Ari, Derek free?
I am going to try to think skinny, and I saw it work for Ari, so I'm gonna try to wiggle and squiggle.
Okay, roll a dex. Yeah, wiggle and squiggle. Yeah, think skinny.
I'm gonna sing. I'm a little spider.
Oh.
But I rolled horrible. I got a 3 plus 3, so 6.
No, you just look like you're dancing in the tree as the Minotaur looks at them. And actually, he turns back as he's grabbed Derek and he sees Ari. And I want Ari and Derek to make a Constitution save.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Ooh,
I've got to roll well.
okay.
Nope, that's a 6.
Oh, okay. As he's choking, you're not sure if it's the... Oh,
I think I broke her.
Yeah.
I think you did. Good job. Broke the DM.
Yay!
So you live, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Hey.
I am gone now. So it all ends happily.
Oh no.
We all go home with all the gold.
These rolls. We're gonna pretend that she didn't see Derek and I's terrible rolls.
there we go. I saw them. I saw them. I did. You can't hold it over my eye. It just like reset on me. Sorry about that, gang.
Okay.
So, yeah, you in fact do not either of you make your Constitution save. And for the first time, we see something very strange happen. You feel something weird in your gut. Your belly's... And a small hand pushes against the interior of your stomach. Ari, you feel it against your side in this tree as if something is trying to escape your bodies. And the Minotaur holds Derek up and goes, No.
Leave me alone.
You have a seed. I cannot kill you. And it tosses your body to the side as it looks to Ari and says, You too. You are a mother. And it turns to the Goliath, trying to see if you two are being overcome by something on your insides. And it doesn't, in fact, see anything. Nothing takes over. But it looks like Ari and Derek have something trying to wriggle free of their belly.
This is the most terrifying news Ari has ever received, by the way, on this show.
It's motherhood. It's beautiful. Oh, we get to watch it. Aren't you so happy, old man? We should have a baby shower.
And when you say that, the Minotaur turns and looks at you with this very strange view, like eyebrows, and it goes, Baby shower. These are no babies. They are Bhaal spawn. And it picks up Ari and Derek and tosses you guys at the hole as you kind of roll towards it. And he says, But you, Goliath, you are not holding his seed. You shall be my trophy. And it has chosen you as its final opportunity to win its trophy for the day.
Like trophy wife?
He says, No, I have a Minotaur wife. A Minotaur woman.
I'm sure she's very nice.
Scimitar. He says, as he is going to reach out and attack you and kind of like charge at you. Let's see if he hits. I've rolled so poorly against you today. Oh, come on now. 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Oh, yay!
So,
finally.
How many hit points am I at after I was at like negative 130 from
you come back
plants?
to your original amount.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would have been whatever your original, like you rejuvenated it to tree form. And you take 18 points of damage as it runs you through with its horn.
Okay.
Would you like to take
33.
action?
Yeah. 33 minus 18 is
15? 15, correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to do that math.
So when he crashes into me, does that knock me free?
It does in fact knock you. Yeah, it does knock you free. Like the branches, like almost peel to the side magically. After he marks you as his trophy.
Okay, I am going to give him a big hug, and then I'm going to disengage and dash towards the hole.
Okay. For that disengage, do you have any kind of feat for that dash, or are you going to take that attack of opportunity?
No, I'll take a disengage action.
Oh, you're going to take the action. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you just meant you step. Okay. So he will, because you're kind of in combat with him. If you don't have a feat that denies it, he is going to take another attack of opportunity to try to leave his space. At a 16. Will he make it? Probably not. That's my goal anyways. And you take another 14 points of damage just to make it, don't you?
Yep, I got 1 hit point left as I do a cannonball down the hole.
And the Minotaur goes, no! No! As you hear his voice echo, and you fall through this black hole.
Say hello to Mrs. Heifer for me!
Ari and Derek, you in fact don't join the 4 others in your party. But Fafrin, Martok, Ungar, and Hopeful Moonbeam, you find yourself in a strange kind of black pit, staring at the very large face of a very kind of skeletal man. And his skeletal hands... Bravo, fair adventurers. You, in fact... I presume? Yeah, he says, I am Bhaal. Who else would I be? As his voice kind of booms through this empty space. And he says, you have performed beautifully. I will give one of you your life back today, but you must choose who gains his mortality.
Me, please. Me.
I have to agree with Ungar.
That's 2 votes for me then, so how are you 2 voting?
He promised to spread nudity through the...
I'll take it off now. I'll take it all off.
Even Bhaal goes, oh God. As he kind of shields his eyes a little bit with his skeletal hand, and he says, well, and looks at Fafrin and Martok and says, do you agree that this half-orc deserves his mortality?
I'll do your vengeance thing, and I'll do
rather like go back.
I thought for a bit, and I say that I know that's what Grumsh, the orc god, would want me to say. That I would still live here to suffer your endless and pain and on me, but I think I also deserve to be brought back to life and continue on my oath of vengeance. and I am prepared to do with Ungar for that, if necessary.
Okay. Fafrin, what was your final... Yeah.
I'd also like to go back. I think I could make my mother very proud of me.
He looks around at...
I'm very proud of you.
I'm
good.
Really quite a disappointment, but thank you.
You hear Bhaal taking a very deep breath, and he says, you 3 feel you deserve your life to be an adventurer, but the only one here who possesses the actual skills necessary to return is him. And he points to the naked Goliath and he says, that's charity. That lack of pride, that is a true hero. And he claps his hands, and Hopeful gains his mortality back. And you find yourself back where you once were. And he searches and looks at the other 3 of you, and he says, you still have lessons to learn. As a fire erupts from the ground around you and consumes all 3 of your bodies and takes you once again into a new trial.
No.
And it falls silent. Derek and Ari, we end today's episode with you waking up, lying in a bed, comfortable one nonetheless, but your hands are strapped down, and one of those creepy nurses stands over you. She looks at the one next to her. They both slice their mouths open and go, yes, it is only a few days now before they will grow into beautiful babies. And a hand again presses like through saran wrap through Ari's stomach as it claws at your insides. And that is where we will end today's episode of the Trials of Bhaal. Yay! Ari and Derek are pregnant! Awesome. So what I'd love to do is go around. I'm going to let you guys tell everybody one more time who you are and where they can find you online. I am Little Red Dot. You can find me on the Twitches and the Twitters. I, in fact, actually launch on my Twitch channel this weekend my very first D&D game ever over on the Little_Red_Dot channel. So you should go check that out. This Sunday, it's called Sunday Fun Days. I'm going to be drinking a butt ton of mimosas. It's going to be awesome. And when I'm not doing that, you can check me out in the North by Northwest podcast. I'll drop some links here in chat in a second. And the rest of my schedule and all the mini games I'm playing in, from a Princess of Apocalypse campaign to Encounter Roleplay every Saturday over on Wizards of the Coast channel for Learn by Play. So I play D&D like 17 hours a week. So you can go check my schedule out and see all the many places where I'm at doing that. And we're going to move right over to our lovely Madam Gandalf, who's one of our regular cast members. Where can we find you online? And did you have fun today?
Oh, lordy, yes. I mean, like I said, this is the most terrifying thing that Ari has ever had happen to her, is the possibility of motherhood. Yeah, she is too self-involved to think about loving, like, something else, or, like, having to look after something else that relies on her, like, and this whole, like, going through this maze and fighting minotaurs and vines that are grasping out at you. I love this scenario so much. It was really, really, thank you so much, Chelsea. That was really cool, really intriguing to go through. And yeah, as Chelsea said, my name is Madam Gandalf. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch. I play a bunch of different games. At the moment, I'm playing Bloodborne a lot. As well as my own D&D show based in the Witcher universe. And I also do cooking streams and pub quizzes. So a little bit of everything in my fantasy tavern. And yeah, thank you so much for having me here, because I also enjoyed myself and all of that jazz.
Yeah, we'll see you guys again next week, yeah? Yeah, to come back and get some more death, yeah? Yeah. And we move right along to Derek, Pangalactic, who plays Derek. Tell us if you enjoyed today and where we can find you online.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed being a tree for a bit. Who knew I was going to be watching out? I can't wait to see what I'll be next week. That was great. So, my name's Chris. You can find me on the Twitters as Pangalactic. I run a D&D website called Loot the Room, and I do DM's Guild stuff. And I'm in a band and stuff. You can check all that stuff out and come say hello.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure he can drop some links if he wants to there in the chat. And we're going to just go in order of my screen, which is Chaotic Fabulous. Where can we find you online, and what are you up to, friend? And did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I had a great time. I think I literally disconnected for the last 10 seconds, but I managed to rejoin for this. But so I assume Hopeful Moonbeam is the one that got out of there, so I'll have to get back on that. But it was a really awesome time, really great bunch of characters, and I had a really good time with that. And I had some very lucky rolls as well, so it worked out quite well story-wise. So it was great. Thank you for that. You can see me on Twitter on Chaotic Fabulous, and the main thing I'm doing at the moment is a group on Facebook called Stat_This5E, where people can post pictures of Spider-Man or Solid Snake or anyone from pop culture, and then we try and make them into a D&D character. So we're about 4,000 members now. It's going quite well. So that's where you can find me. So that's if you go to facebook.com/groups/Stat_This5E, you'll find it.
Nice. All right. Very cool. And Getly Eye. Got it. Getly Eye. Tell us where we can find you online and if you enjoyed yourself today.
Yeah, I had a really great time, and you are you are an awesome DM, Chelsea. I really have to say
thanks.
that. I'm really honored. I'm really. I'm really. It was an honor to have playing with you guys, you and everything else here, and yeah. But however, as I said before, I am 100% viewer. So, but however, I am also possibly be available for on and off one shots in the future. So if you want to, you can follow my my Twitter, which probably someone's gonna post on the chat because I'm not also following the stream and not following the chat. So yeah, if you guys have anything to ask me in chat, I haven't been able to actually see the chat. So if you can ask me again some other time, but you can follow me on Twitter. It's like _philosopho with some ph in the name. but I'm gonna post later. And yeah, I'm sorry I did not get to use that nat 20.
Oh yes, your nat 20.
Because I mean I thought I would have more, I'll have more chances, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that for whoever gave me.
It's all right. I could always take that nat 20 and use it next time.
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us again, man. It was great to play with you.
Yeah, that's all.
And Mammal Jenna, tell us about where we can find you.
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at MammelJono. That's MAMMELJONO. I'm funny sometimes. You can also find me on YouTube with my web series, Baked with Good Intentions, a whimsical dark comedy about two friends doing a cooking show in hell, which I feel like fits the theme of this game pretty well. I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time, and maybe it won't be the last. And speaking of last, but certainly not least, we have Stump. Tell us where we can find you and what you're busy doing, friend. And did you have a good time, of course?
I had a great time. I really did not expect to be the one to get sent back, because now I have to figure out a way get back here so I can throw Ari and Derek a proper baby shower.
Yeah. You have to find your way back. Nobody has ever said that ever for Bhaal Realm. Oh man, that's funny. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming by, man.
Again, I too do not play or I'm here at Encounter Roleplay's chat, Scraticus's chat, and Arvin Elron's chat. That's where you can find me.
Nice.
_Stump on Twitter.
Nice. Yes, of course. And that will be the conclusion of today's show for the Trials of Bhaal. We'll be back here next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, rolling dice and trying to fight the Great Lord of Murder as he yearns to kill you. And I'm going to close out. Will, do you want to say your tag off for the voice? Okay, cool. Okay, I was about to say the voice says no, don't. Chelsea, you say it. So. Thanks for coming by Encounter Roleplay. This has been the Viewer Game and Trials of Bhaal. Don't roll too many nat ones because we want to be there laughing when you do. Thanks for dropping by, you guys. Bye!